Hello everyone, this is Tom from Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, the Netherlands, and today we are taking a look at a very cool 2012 Fender guitar, so a used guitar. This is a Fender American Vintage Reissue 1957 Stratocaster in a two-tone sunburst finish, like I said, from the year 2012. So this model is also discontinued by now, so they don't make this anymore. You got, I believe, the American Vintage 2 line nowadays. This is the original, really. And yeah, I think that we can all agree that this is in an incredibly clean shape. There is really no, if any, playwear to go over, apart from some like minor playwear, like picking scratches on the pickguard, which is what a pickguard is for, by the way. But yeah, no breaks, cracks, repairs, modifications, or yeah, cracks in the finish or whatever. Just an incredibly clean 2012 Strat, and based on the 1957 configuration. So you've got those same type of specs. 1957 Strats are really like one of the most iconic. They have a unique neck profile. They got the two-tone burst, the single-ply pickguard. Just a very classic model. Yeah, this one is just a very fantastic player, and it just looks killer and it sounds killer. Very classic. Very classic Strat that we all know and love. So let's dive into the specs. So we've got an alder body, obviously in a two-tone sunburst finish, which is what these came in way back in the day, mostly in the 1950s. It was only until like late 1950s or like early 1960s that they then introduced the three-tone sunburst finish. So right now you've just basically got two colors going on. So you've got kind of like this orangey inner part, and then the rim or the edge is then like a dark brown or almost black. Whereas in the 1960s you would also get like more of a red and yellow in it. So yeah, that is kind of like how you know that this is based on a 1950s style of Strat by the two-tone sunburst finish. You've then got just your traditional layout when it comes to the pickups, as well as a single-ply white pickguard. So that is also kind of like a 1950 spec, whereas in the 1960s you would get a multiply, like mint green kind of a pickguard, but now you've just got your single-ply pickguard. Same goes for the back plate for your vibrato system. Also got that single-ply white plastic material. Just got three single coil pickups, just your like traditional single coil Fender Stratocaster pickups that sound really great. Guessing that these are then also based on 1957 Fender Stratocaster pickups. Also then obviously got your tremolo or vibrato tailpiece, also with the classic 6 individual bent steel saddles and your 6 screw configuration, also kind of like the more old school style. The wiring is actually also very much vintage, so very accurate. First off, you've just got a 3-way pickup selector switch, whereas nowadays most Fender Stratocasters get a 5-way switch, so that you can also then get the in-between tones. So you then get the bridge and the middle pickup together, as well as the middle and the neck pick up together. But that is not how this came way back in the day, way back in the 1950s. It was actually until like later in the 1970s that they actually changed that, unlike all Fender Stratocasters. So you just get a 3-way pickup selector switch. You can still get those mixed pickup tones, but you then like have to balance in between like the middle position and the bridge position. So you can do it, but it is not all that stable, because if you then give it a light tap, you then go either way. Yeah, but it is accurate. The same then goes for the control. So for the control knob, so you just got a master volume, so that is also how they come nowadays. But then the tone controls are then also, you then got a tone control for your neck pickup and a tone control for your middle pickup, but no tone control for your bridge pickup. That is how these also came wired way back in the day. So in the bridge position, you just get a fully wide open tone on your bridge pickup. Input jack also then over here on the front, also very much traditional. Got a maple neck with a 1957 profile, which kind of like has this soft V shape. So if you then feel the neck like this, you can definitely feel that it is a little bit pointy, if you will. It is not actually pointy, but like it is not like perfectly round. So it does come into a little bit of a very soft V shape, which a lot of people really love. I also actually really dig this neck shape. As for the size, it is also just not too big and not too thin, so it's kind of like medium size, but definitely got that rather unique soft V shape that a lot of people really dig. Got a maple fingerboard with your black dot inlays, with a vintage style radius of 7¼ inches, so that is also very much old school. Got the original bone nut, and then your Fender Stratocaster decal over there on the headstock with your single string tree, and then on the back the vintage style tuners. Last thing to mention, also comes with its original hardshell case, which is actually a very sweet tweed case. Also includes the original case candy, so you really kind of like get the full package with this by now already 13-year-old Fender Stratocaster, which is, yeah, almost like new. Like I said, very little, if any, player wear really to be seen. If you hold it in the light just right, you do see some minor picking scratches on the pick guard, like I said earlier, but that is really it. And yeah, you got a little bit of finger smudging going on, but that is a matter of polishing it up and wiping it down, really. So yeah, it is, if you ask me, just really almost like perfect. So yeah, an incredibly clean and very cool American vintage 1957 style Fender Stratocaster. Really cool guitar, looks amazing and sounds amazing as well, and also plays amazing. So let's then move on to that part and let's hear what it sounds like. But first, if you're interested in this American vintage reissue 1957 Stratocaster from 2012, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of cool electric guitars like these, cool acoustics, bass guitars even, all of that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's hear what this 2012 American vintage 1957 Stratocaster sounds like. Going to be playing it through this late 1970s Fender Pro Reverb. First be playing with clean tones, and then I'll be playing with the dirty tones, for which I will be using a non-horsey clone. So let's move on to that part and let's take this really cool 2012 American vintage 1957 reissue American Stratocaster for a spin.